Good morning. Here on in the voting booth. Yeah, so our question that we've asked on TikTok is, can the ANC and the EFF get another klap in the by-election that is taking place? And I said there, can the Association of Mineworkers and Construction Union, that's AMCU, or the Labour Party, so they've registered as a political party to contest in the 2026 by-elections or local elections, and they want to klap the ANC in a by-election in Mpumalanga. And if you think I'm kidding, they did beat the ANC and the EFF in a ward in Thabazimbi in December 2024. Now, you know, the trade unions are part of the tripartite alliance with the ANC. So are we finally seeing a breakaway of these trade unions? That will help a lot. That will help a lot to speed up the demolition of the ANC as a party in South Africa. So yeah, so they've registered for 2026 and they are going to compete. So that should take some votes away from the ANC and the EFF. This is in the voting booth, so we do a program on TikTok, here on YouTube, and then obviously on Radio Kuberkontrij, and we are discussing what's happening in by-elections. As you know, I have put myself forward as a candidate for Ward 15 in Somerset West, where I'm semi-grating to in January 2026 for Cape Exit Independence Party. So let's talk about the Labour Party, or AMCU. So they were founded in February 2024, and they say there on their website, a progressive alternative to South Africa's political landscape. No, I think we have enough progressive parties in this country that is centre left or far left. But anyway, anything that can split the ANC in their votes is good for this country. So thumbs up to them. And they say there on their website, the Labour Party seeks to unite various progressive and like-minded organisations, including trade unions and civil society groups, to address the country's socio-economic challenges. So hopefully, I see a lot of independent and ratepayers associations and SAMCUs and all these small little groups registering. It's not a bad sign. It's a sign of democracy working after 30 years. So they should pick up some of these guys. Now, yeah. So in 2024, they were unable to meet the required signature threshold to contest the national and provincial elections. All right, so obviously they've done that now, and they have fixed that. And as I said, in Thabazimbi in December 24, they beat the ANC and the EFF in that ward. Then let's quickly talk about Moody's ratings, if you haven't seen that yet. So 45% of South Africans are living below the poverty line. And as you know, in all our municipalities and in our metros, we cross-subsidize, so the rich look after the poor, as it should be. But I think there should be some boundaries there on how that should work. For me, as somebody that's semigrating to the Western Cape, here's my point. Our leader was thrown out of council in the Western Cape about 3 weeks ago because he used the word economic migrant. All right, let that sink in. We can shout, kill the boer, kill the farmer, no problem. But economic migrant is not allowed. All right, so I'm semigrating to the Western Cape with my wealth, with my skill set, and with my business. And most likely business opportunities or employment opportunities for people in the Western Cape. The guy moving over from the Eastern Cape, the economic migrant, brings no skill, He's jobless. He's relying on the state to look after him. Now his province has failed to do so. The Eastern Cape is non-existent. There is no services left in the Eastern Cape because the ANC has stolen all the money. So that economic migrant, well, look at the stats. Unemployment in the Western Cape, 19%. Eastern Cape, 39%. Can you see why they are economic migrants? Northern Cape, the other border, is also 37%. Or no, it's 29%, just under 30%. And the Free State, 37%. So all the provinces next to the Western Cape will receive an influx of these people because their own provinces are bankrupt due to the ANC. Now, for me, what is sad is that this guy moves over to the Western Cape, demands all the services, housing, schools, public works, and he still votes ANC, EFF, MK, Progressive Labour Party. Really? So your province couldn't look after you. You have to pull up roots, move to a new province, stay in a shack, no food, no money, but the ANC will still get my vote. I don't get that. All right, so let's go back to Moody's. So obviously South Africa is junk status. Now Johannesburg is rated BA3. City of Tshwane is one down here where I reside. CAA2, well done DA and ANC, because between the two of you, you have run the Metro of Tshwane for the last 12 years. CAA2, junk status. Elevated credit risk is the summary next to CAA2. Elevated credit risk. Do you want to do business with Tshwane? I don't. Cape Town, well done, improved to one notch to BA2. So hats off to them for going into the right direction. And that's why I think the Western Cape should secede. And that's why I do support Cape Exit Independence Party. Because we are outnumbered. Because other provinces are bankrupt. So Western Cape will become the crown in the jewel. And if you're hungry and unemployed and there's no schools, no hospitals, no services, no clinics, you're going to move to the Western Cape. So somewhere we need to protect these borders. Otherwise, 10 years from now, the problem is just going to move to the Western Cape. And I don't think the Western Cape can afford it. You've seen the split in the previous video that we've done of what we generate as GDP in the Western Cape and what we get back from national province. It's about a third. So we cannot afford that in the Western Cape. One final point that I want to make is in Joburg, there's a group called Johannesburg Crisis Alliance. Now, you all know Wayne Duvenage, the CEO of OTA. So he's a founding member of the Johannesburg Crisis Alliance. And he spoke in this week about financial hygiene. So let me just reiterate what he has said. So Joburg has got a budget of 85 billion rand. It's bankrupt. There's no services. I drive to Joburg twice a week. I can tell you there's no services. I can see that. They borrowed 2.5 billion rand in this year. 2.5 billion rand. The loan was an international loan, and it was under the auspices of infrastructure development. All right, so you apply for a loan, you get the loan, and you say, listen, bank, give me this money. I want to improve the infrastructure in my city. The loan gets approved. Now, if you remember correctly, this was done with the help of the PA and Action SA. So if you're going to vote PA and Action SA in the Western Cape, be very careful, because this needs to be pointed out. If they do something well, I will acknowledge that, like what the DA has done regarding the Moody's rating in the Western Cape. I will acknowledge good service. PA Action SA, they got rid of the DA, They got their own mayor in there. Can you remember that? The deputy mayor was, or the speaker was Action SA, that was voted in with the new ANC leader. So what did they do? They took this money and paid salaries with it. Not infrastructure. And not only that, the speaker then approved salary increases for the newly elected mayoral committee out of these funds. Is that responsible? Is that what you expect from your leaders, from your political leaders? And that was done. ANC, we can expect that. EFF, we can expect that. MK, we can expect that. All these progressive parties, we can expect that there is just, we don't care. There's no accountability for how we spend taxpayers' money, other people's money, because that is what communism is about. But the PA and Action SA, as I said in my previous video, Aaron Mashaba ran on a ticket centre-right in the 2024 elections. He got a bloody nose, and now suddenly he's centre-left or far-left, because now I see a video where he tells whites, "Oh, you're welcome to leave South Africa as well." So he's playing the rice card morning, noon, and night. A sad state of affairs. But yeah, this is in the voting booth. We have an upcoming by-election the first week in July. I think 2 in the Eastern Cape and 1 in KwaZulu-Natal. But anyway, in the voting booth, I will give you feedback and details regarding how we are faring in that by-elections and what we can look forward to. My name is Paul Joubert. I'm the ward candidate for Somerset West, Ward 15, representing Cape Exit, here in the voting booth for LGE 2026.